First and foremost, I want to start off by saying Barakathon, Yahweh Bashin, Yahweh Shai. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the whole for Let's Start with the honey for the 1,000 Shalom. Right, so Lord willing, I ain't gonna say whether it's gonna be a long one or a short one, but I got a few precepts I want to hit, and on the subject, I ain't necessarily really got no title yet for this lesson, but it do goes in the aspect of go to this precept. I was watching Elder Pastor Ramalot lesson. I want to say is what precept I was in. Bear with me. Habakkuk 3 and Habakkuk 3 and 13. Right, and Elder Pastor Ramalot lesson. He's posted on his page, CMS Info Doc. Right, real fast. Let's see if we can. But I was watching it and the spirit it hit me. Right. Suck for that. All right, right here, right? Thou woundest the head of the wicked. Right? And when he said that, it hit me in the spirit because as I was studying it, right, it hit me. I was like, dang, how how when the spirit, hits you, right, you study something and it just hits you, right? And I read 13 real fast. He says, thou winnest forth for the salvation of thy people, even for the salvation with thy anointed, right? Because it's gonna be a judgment, right? It's gonna be a judgment, and it's also gonna be a deliverance, right? It's gonna be Yahweh Shai gonna come, he gonna gather to their elect, but he also gonna bring that judgment on the wicked, those 2/3, and and Esau, right? Especially Esau, right? He says thou woundest the head out of the house of the wicked, right? And this will kind of hit me in the spirit that because the head of the wicked, that's Esau Edom, right? Once they came into power, all evil matters went into the earth. They've been spread ever since, right? Even going back to Book of Malachi chapter 1, right? Esau, the border of wickedness, right? He said by discovering of the foundation to the net, right? So because they're being exposed, right? They're being exposed, right? They're being exposed to all these things, and that's part of them. That's part of their destruction, right? Like the elder was saying, Esau was being seen as like the biggest, the biggest, the baddest. They were seen as like the upright ones, right? They were seen as like the righteous ones. They were seen as they down to try to take in place of the Israelites. That's what everybody thought they was, the chosen people of the Most High, right? Which when you come to understand it, right, they're the wicked, and they've been exposed for all the wicked deeds and all the things they've done, right? Their hidden places being exposed and all that, right? What hit me, right, is it says thou woundest the head of the wicked, right? And I got a few precepts that come to mind out in his lesson, right? But it hit me because when the elder said this, right, when you go to Revelation 13, right, and the first time, when Rome was wounded, they right here I read Revelation 3. It's like Revelation 13 and 3, right? He said, and I saw one of his heads as were wounded to death, right? And it's talking about the Roman Empire, right? He said his deadly wound was healed, right? Reborn, NATO, right? The rebirth, right? The revised Roman Empire, right? He says all the world wandered after the beast, right? You're gonna see right here that the wound that was healed, the Renaissance, right? When the Romans come back into power, right? They revised Roman Empire, right? NATO, right? Rebirth, right? When they come back, right? But all the nations wandered after the beast because why? The revised Roman Empire is what it is today, America, right? And we know everybody loves the lifestyle of America, right? Everybody loves the lifestyle of Babylon. Everybody fall after Babylon, right? Like Elder Pastor Harvey saying, man, America's get the cold, everybody else get the flu, right? the head of the wicked, right? The head of the house of wicked, right? And you know, but the point being is right is it's the point being right. It says, and I saw one of his heads, they were wounded to death. And his deadly wound was healed, right? So his deadly wound was healed, right? They've been brought back into power, right? And this right here goes to show you, right? Because you have like Apostle Ron was saying, you have a lot of these, false doctrines that try to make it seem like Esau is going to come back into power, right? But we understand that Most High got their righteous indignation for them. Most High got their righteous judgment for them, man, right? And he said, right, let me go to it real fast. Isaiah 34, right? And I read Isaiah 34:2, right? It says, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. His fury is upon all their armies, right? Mainly Esau, man. Mainly Esau Edom for what they did to the nation of Israel, right? He said he had utterly destroyed them. He had delivered them to slaughter. Their slain also be cast out, and their stink shall come out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, right? Them armies, them planes, and all the things, they're gonna be shot. They're gonna be shot down. They're gonna be destroyed, right? He says, the heavens shall be rolled the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, right? He said, all the hosts shall fall down, right? It's the nuclear missiles, man, right? You see right here, the host of heaven, so we scroll talking about Esau military gonna be destroyed up in the heavens, right? That scroll's talking about that mushroom cloud that what's the trying to think of it. In World War II, right, when they dropped the atomic bomb and it made like the mushroom cloud, right? And the nuclear weapons, man. The nuclear weapons there's gonna be explosions going off, right? He says, as the leaf falleth from the vine, as a falling fig from the tree. She said, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, right? Which is the Greek way to say Edom, right? And upon the people of my curse to judgment, right? So they curse to judgment, man. That indignation, that righteous anger, man. He coming to bring that sword on them, right? Let me see what it says. Smoke's going forever, ever. Yeah, right here, right? Isaiah 34, I started verse 8, right? It said, for it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, the year of the recompense, right? For the controversy of Zion, right? For all the things that Esau, Edom done, right? Most High gonna bring that upon them. Most High gonna bring that judgment upon them. And they, and it's a precept, I want to say Psalms 94, right? Psalms 94, that the elder brought out in the lesson before as well, right? That goes into, how Esau Edom been doing this thing for so long that they get to thinking that the Most High wanted it, thinking that the Most High on their side. But they don't understand the Most High he just gathering it up. He just jotting it down, right? And that their judgment, he gonna show it in front of their face. That's why you got the prophets. That's why that's why part of the judgment they've been made bare, right? Meaning everything them being exposed, everything they've been doing being brought to the light. They've been exposed for all their wickedness and all the things they're doing. So therefore, it ain't gonna be no like they don't know what they got going on, because you got the prophets, the elders, the teachers, right? That is truth, exposing them daily, prophesying against his kingdom, right? He said, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone. The land thereof shall become a burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night or day. The smoke therefore shall go up forever. From generation to generation, it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. Meaning what? Right? This is going to be made desolate. This place is going to be gone. It ain't going to be no healing. It ain't going to be no wound, no heals. Right? It ain't going to be no, it ain't going to be no healing, no wounds. Say that backwards, right? It ain't going to be no healing, no wounds. It ain't going to be no Renaissance period, no rebirth. It ain't going to be none of that. Once this place is going down, it's over with. Our kingdom is being built up. Our kingdom is being brought up. Through spirit, probably how about how shot, right? Don't hear my note. The smoke ain't gonna pass generation to generation. It's meaning it's gonna be desolate place, right? It ain't gonna mean that you're just gonna be seeing smoke going up like you see in the movies. Nah, man, it's gonna be over with. It's gonna be done over with. This place is gone, right? And like Ella was saying, right? Esau gonna be prolonged, right? Esau gonna be prolonged to go into slavery, and after they done with that slavery, right? They're gonna be tied up and burnt away with. Oh, in the book of Obadiah, right? Let you know that, right? He said, but the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also the raven shall dwell in it. He shall stretch out upon the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. Right? It's gonna be empty, man. Right? Like the Apostle Harvey said when he broke this down, right? When he breaking this down, he was saying, how like when it's like you ride, you finna cross the border, say you coming into America, you coming over to this place, right? You ain't gonna go through it. The shit gonna be desolate. Ain't gonna be no more pass through it, none of it. It's done. It's gonna be done away with, man. He getting rid of it, right? So it ain't no healing that place. That place finna be destroyed. America ain't getting his wounds healed no more. America is set for this judgment to be destroyed. Esau Edom is set for the judgment to be destroyed, man. Right? Yahweh Shaphat, right? Yahweh will judge. Yahweh will govern, man. He ready bring that indignation upon them, right? I quoted it earlier, but I'm finna go break it out. Malachi 1, right? And I start at verse I started verse 2, right? It says, I loved you, said the Lord. Yet ye say, let's say the Lord Yahweh, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Right? Said the Lord, yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau and laid his mountain wait. And I went into this yesterday a little bit, right? Genesis 3, because this is when you think of Cain and Abel, right? That serpent that was in the garden and that evil spirit that was on Cain, right? And he killed and he slew his brother. The Most High cursed him, right? And also that that serpent was cursed as well. Said it would be made lower than all the beasts in the field is gonna be made lower to low, right? And that's what Esau is, lower to low, man, right? That basis of men, right? But the basis of men, right? But what did Cain do? That same evil spirit that was on Cain, what did he do? Slew his brother, and the Most High cursed him, right? And what is Esau doing now? Right, slaying his brother. They've gone throughout. They've been slaying his brother. They've been slaying people for years, but they're not our brother no more, right? Because you see, it says was not Esau Jacob's brother. They're not our brother no more, man. Right? He said, "Yet I love Jacob, and I hated Esau. Lay his mountain waste and his heritage waste for the dragons of wilderness." Whereas Edom said, "We are in province, but we will return and build desolate places," said the Lord of hosts, or said the Lord Yahweh of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Right? He had indignation with them forever. He's done with them. He's done with their iniquity. Right? Ever since they came into power, this kingdom has been dying. Right? This place has been dying, man. Right? And it's prophecy to be fulfilled that's showing going throughout. They time coming to an end. They time ending. They time coming short. Of course, Psalms 49, they want their kingdom going forever and never, but it's not, right? Because once that judgment comes, once the elect receive this knowledge, boom, it's on and popping. Because once again, we like I was talking about, right? It's gonna be the judge, Yahweh coming, and his coming gonna be immediately into two parts, right? He coming to gather the elect, right, and he gathered them, right, but then he coming to bring that judgment on the wicked, right, and that's Esau. For sure. And that's them 2/3, man. Them 2/3 who caught up in the way and drunk out that fornication of Babylon. Right? So therefore, it ain't gonna be no healing in this place. It ain't gonna be no more being brought back up. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be brought down, they're gonna be destroyed. Right? That's why I said, are you brought down to the pit? Right? Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14, I started verse 10. He said, and all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Because all the kingdoms like before, right? They've been brought down, right? Because Daniel 2:20, Daniel 2:21, right? Most High raise up kings, take down kings, right? But you got Esau around here thinking that, can't nobody mess with them. They thinking that they having that God-like mindset, thinking that they gods, right? But the Most High gonna show his wrath unto them, man. He gonna show them who really in charge, right? He says, all they speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Right? He says, thy prompt is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy voice, the worms spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Right? Let's say right here, right? The hell is speaking of is the empire's gonna burn. Right? No, ain't no such thing as no hell. right? They gonna be brought down. The worms covered thee, right? When the body decay, the body dying and be full of the worms, like it's death, man. Little death. They gonna be done. They gonna be down and ready to get done away with, man. This kingdom, this place finna burn. This place finna be destroyed, right? He says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, right? Son of the morning, right? Lucifer is what? The illuminated ones, right? The illuminated ones, the hierarchy of Satan, man. Because all of them are physical sons and daughters of Satan, man, right? But they finna be brought down. All those hidden agendas they try to bring, all them things that they try to hide, right? I just seen the brothers say earlier, right? They trying to build they trying to be like an underground house for like the rich people, right? Well, underground world for like the rich people. But what you gonna see, man, that they know what's coming, man. Cause they know who they are for real, but they did their best to try to hide and try to make it seem like they're the righteous ones, right? But the spirit probably how about saying shot? He put the spirits on the elders, and he put the spirit on the elders, the prophets, through 100% truth through GMS, right? He put the spirit. Once I put the spirit on them, right, and now the word is going out, man. The word is going out. Now the elect is being gathered. Now Esau is being exposed, and they see it. Right, that's why they coming down so hard now. They coming down with all these different agendas, all these different ways to hurt the nation, the pressure points. Right, they coming with all these different agendas to hurt the nation, to keep the nation down. Right, so people ain't listen to the truth. People ain't got time to listen to the truth. People ain't got time to listen to the knowledge. Hell, Trump taking away Section 8. Trump trying to take away EBT. Mother got to go to work. They got to do all these other things. They got to try their best to provide in this kingdom. Right, but the elect not falling for it, because that's one of them traps. Right? I watched a lesson the other day. And the brother brought out a precept, Proverbs 22:7, right? And it said, roughly paraphrasing, right? I'll bring it out real fast. Proverbs 22:7, right? It says, the rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. Right? We're the poor down here, right? So the rich ruled over. The rich is who? Esau, Edom. They have all these things. They have all this generational wealth, this money, this power down here, man. Right? They having that, right? And our people are being servants to it. But you got to understand, that's why Elder Apostle Gabartis also did a lesson the other day saying, what? We're servants to obedience, right? We're servants for Yahweh Shem Shah. We're servants to obedience, not to wickedness, man. We're supposed to be doing the righteous works for Yahweh Shem Shah. Let's keep it faith describing and not worrying about what's going on in this kingdom, right? Of course, you got to live day by day, right? You know what I'm saying? But those who use the word is not abusing them. No, we can't abuse this place, right? People get abused. People want the fancy cars, the things of this nature, right? And they was able to get these things because why? They rent being paid by the good. They was leaning onto Esau. They was the borrower, man. But now Trump making it harder to where now it's a distraction. People don't want to hear this truth at all no more. Hey man, I gotta get my bill. I ain't got time for that. You talking about this and that about the white man. We finna go to the white man's job. Okay, go ahead. Right? That's why with time comes, these people gonna see, man. We should just listen, cause this place finna be destroyed. This place finna be done away with. Right? Bear with me. I'm trying to see if I'm finna hit the right precept. I want to say is right, Isaiah 6:15. Right? It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind to rend his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire." He coming with the destruction, man. He coming with straight destruction. Right? Let me see. Right? Let me see. I'm gonna start at verse 14, right? It says, "When ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, your bones shall flourish like an herd. The hand of the Lord shall be known towards his servants, and his indignation toward his enemies," which is who? Esau, Edom, right? "Set your face against Mount Seir," right? He says, "For behold, the Lord Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire." Right? And as you see in my notes, man, those 2/3 gonna get it as well. Those people who so caught up in loving the way of this kingdom, loving the way of this world, they gonna get caught up in that indignation as well, man. They get caught up in that righteous anger as well. Why? Because they never depart, they never return their reproof. They never listen to they listen to the words of the prophets. That the spirit that Yahweh Shem Shah put on the prophets to speak out. That's why he said speaking to all nations, man. Right? That's why, and everybody gonna see it. Revelation 1:7, everybody gonna see it coming, right? And everybody gonna understand, right? They're gonna be messed up when they see a melanin man coming down, right? They're gonna be messed up, man. When they see a melanin man coming down with those chariots that fill the sky, they're gonna be fucked up. They're gonna understand, but them Hebrew Israelites was right. You know, that's the elect. That's why the Most High gonna gather his elect. He gonna get it once again. That judgment gonna be how shall come meet it in two parts, like the elder was saying. Right, he gonna come gather his elect. And he come bring that judgment, man. Right, he said for by fire and by his sword, the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, said the Lord. That's what Jake do. Jake eat the pork, Jake eat all these things. Jake follow the ways of this world, that wide gate. So guess what? The wide gate leadeth to destruction. That's exactly what they're going through. That's exactly why Michael 2:10 said, "Depart. It's not your rest." The people are looking for rest. The people are looking for some comfort. But you're not gonna find it down here in this kingdom. This kingdom right here gonna be destroyed. It's gonna lead you right to destruction. There's no healing for this kingdom. This place is dying. That's why it's so hard. That's why it's so hard out here for people, especially Jake, man. Right? Because Esau trying their best to try to keep this kingdom up, but the shit dying. So you think they trying to save you? They trying to save their own place? Come on, man. Right? He says, "For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come. I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations, to Taraz, Pul, Lod, and draw to bow, and to Tabal and Javan, to the isles afar off. They have not heard my fame, neither have seen my glory. They shall declare my glory among the Gentiles, the Israelites in the mind of the other nations." Right, among the Gentiles, talking about Israelites, because the Israelites were scattered among the Gentiles, among all nations. Right? That's why the word is preached to all nations. Right? But, elect gonna be gathered, man. Elect gonna be brought up. Right? What preach I'm thinking? I'll just read. Let me go back to it, see if it come back to me. Right? But going back to Isaiah 66, right? But he come. Yeah, it came back to me. Matthew 10. Matthew 10. Bear with me. Might be a lot that come up. Bear with me. It's in the book of Matthew. Because the Yahushua come with that sword, man. People, they think it's gonna be peace, but he come with that sword. He come with that judgment, man. And it's gonna be slain of many, man. It's gonna be slain of many, cause Jake gonna get it too. Why I said my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, right? Cause they so caught up in ways in this world, they gonna get it too, man. And they ain't getting out of it, right? Let me see. Bear with me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring this out, right? I'm gonna start at verse 9, right? He said, "I will bring forth the seed out of Jacob, out of Judah, and the inheritance of my mountain. Mine elect shall inherit it, and my servant shall dwell in there." That's the elect. He's gonna bring forth the seed out of destruction, man. Right? Then you go to I read verse 8 real fast, right? He says, "This is the Lord Yahweh. As the new wine is found in the cluster, and one saith, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it. So will I do my servant's sake, that I may not destroy them all, because the elect gonna be saved, the ones who turn away from the wicked kingdom, the ones who focus on his truth." Right? Go jump down to verse 10, right? He says, "And Sharon shall be a fold of flock, and a valley of anchor, a place for the herds to lie down in, for my people that have sought me." Right? He says, but ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare the table for that truth, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore I will number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not." Because they chose the ways of what? The wide gate. They chose the ways of Esau, Edom. So therefore what? The 2/3 getting that sword as well, man. The 2/3 getting it too. Right? He said, "Therefore this saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, for ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and howl for vexation of spirit. Right? Because why? Right? Because Proverbs 1:20, right? What he said, right? Ye ain't turning my reproof, so therefore when your spirit come, I'll mock him. I will laugh at your calamity, paraphrasing. Right? Because they ain't want to listen to the words, right? It's gonna be a scarce delivered, right? The let even gonna cause we fear you how about you outside. The let even gonna be scared, but they're gonna be gathered up, man. Cause we gotta pray we are that hope for let, man. Right? Like the brothers be saying, right? You could be down there, arm get cut off, right? Before you get delivered, man. Cause we know this flesh mean nothing, right? But a lot of people gonna be, they're gonna be scared. They ain't gonna know, they gonna know what's going on. But the let gonna rejoice, man, cause we happy at his coming, right? Second Ezra 2:40 going on down, right? What they say, they got that crown for the ones who are happy for his coming, right? He said, and ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. For the Lord Yahweh shall slay thee and call his servants by another name, right? What is that other name? The elect. He called them by elect, right? Because we all saints, we all servants, but are you called to be a servant? The elect are called to be a servant, man, right? We go to that in the NLT, man. The elect are called to be a servant, right? Because the elect the ones who gonna do his will, do his works, right? Isaiah 65. Sends for notifications. I started at verse 9, right? No, I will start at verse 8. He said, but I will not destroy them all, says the Lord. For just as good grapes are found amongst a cluster of bad ones, right? It's the elect, right, in this wicked kingdom. And someone would say, don't throw them all away. Some of those grapes are good. So not to destroy all Israel, for I still have true servants there, right? The elect, right? Well, Isaiah 1 and 9 going on down, right? If we want for the remnant, our nation should be like Sodom and Gomorrah. But it's that remnant that did not bow down to the image of Baal. It's that remnant that stayed down for this truth, man. That contended in the righteous faith, right? He said, I will preserve a remnant of the people as a spirit. I will preserve a remnant of the people of Israel and of Judah to possess my land. Those I choose will inherit, and my servants will live there. Right? That's why all Israel gonna be saved, but all Israel gonna be saved, but I don't gotta go through the judges for it, and they will be reborn again through the elect seed into the kingdom. Right? He says the plain of Sharon will be again filled with flocks for my people who have searched for me, and the valley of Anchor will be placed for the passive herd. But because the rest of you, that 2/3, have forsaken the Lord and have forgot his temple, and because you have prepared feasts to honor the God of faith and have offered mixed wine to the God of destiny, now I destine you for the sword. And that's the precept I had in Isaiah 66, right? You had Jude 1 and 4, right? Because Jude, the precept, right? Which we'll go to it, but Jude 1 and 4 says what? Right? This how you got people saved to be. This how you got the elect saved to be delivered. You got the 2/3. You got some people who are damned to condemnation, man. They're damned to be destroyed. They're set to be destroyed, man. Right? Romans. I don't want to quote it wrong, right? But you had a vessel unto honor and a vessel unto dishonor, right? Precept twofold, right? But it's talking about the Israelites, right? Because you have the Israelites who are set to be saved. You got the Israelites who are set to be destroyed, who go out for dishonor, man. Right? But he says, now will I destine you for the sword, and all of you will bow down before the executioner. For when I have called you, right? That's why Jake finna go through it bad also with Esau Edom as well, man. Right? Because when Yahushua comes, it's gonna be slain with many. But also Psalms 17, Esau is the most high sword as well, man. That's why he said, right, hide me from the people who are your sword. Right? They're gonna be coming through that city as well. Jacob's trouble, man. Right? He said, for when I called, you did not answer. When I spoke, you did not listen. You deliberately sinned before my very eyes and choose to do what you know I despise. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord Yahweh says. My servants will eat, but you will starve. My servants will drink, but you will thirst. You will be thirsty. My servants will rejoice, but you will be sad and ashamed. My servants will sing for joy, but you will cry in pain and sorrow and despair. Your name will be a curse among my people. For the sovereign Lord Yahweh will destroy you and will call his true servants by another name. What is that? The elect, man. He would call them by another name, the elect. That's why he only coming for the elect. That's why also the other precept I had, Matthew 24 and 24. You seen what I had brought up my notes out, Isaiah 66:15. He would gather his elect from the four winds of the earth, from the four corners of the earth, man. He will gather his elect, roughly paraphrasing, right? But he will gather his elect, and his elect will be delivered, right? But going back, trying to looking for that precept, I come with the sword. Yeah, it was Matthew 10. I just go to it. Right, but Matthew's 10 and 34, right? And see how it's y'all talking, right? He says, think that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. And you had this is like Elder Pastor Roland was just saying as well, right? These people think they know the Most High, but they don't. Because they thinking that the Most High coming with peace offers, coming with, oh, everybody in their resurrection, people going to be beaten up. No, man, he come with that sword. He come with that destruction, man. He said, think that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I will come to set a man various against his father, and daughter against her mother, and daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's foes shall be their own household. He that loveth his father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. He that loveth his son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Because you're going to have to forsake them, man. The elect going to forsake them. The elect going to get up out of there. Because the elect know that's why we serve Psalms 2:11. We serve the Most High with fear and trembling because we know his power, man. Right? We know his power, right? But before I go to Jeremiah and it's all because I kind of made the point, man, right? Kind of got a little far from it too, but as well, but like it's indignation coming, man, for those 2/3 and for Esau Edom, right? And it ain't gonna be no heal. It's no healing in this place. This place, Yahweh Shai's coming with the sword to destroy this place, man. This place is going down. Ain't no healing in America, man, right? The Lord shall have indignation forever, right? What I was going, the book of Jude. Let's see. Bear with me. I hate when this happens. I get looking for a book. Jude 1:4, right? He said, for there are certain men crept in unawares who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, man. Right? They're ordained to condemnation, right? Like I was saying, right? This is how you got men set to be saved. You got men set to be destroyed, right? He says, ungodly men turn the grace of our power into lasciviousness, Salaki, I'm saying that wrong, and denying the only Lord Yahweh and our Lord Yahweh Shah Mashiach, man, right? So they set to be destroyed, right? They set to be destroyed because they went away, man. They went away. They ain't listen, right? They denied the Most High, right? They ain't listen to the prophet, like Luke 10:16. He that hears you hears me, right? He that despises you despises me, right? Because he that despises me despises him that sent me. Roughly paraphrasing, right? When they don't listen to when Most High put the spirit on the prophets and the people turn away from the prophets, they turn away from Yahweh Shah because he put the spirit on them to prophesy and do these things, right? And they turn their ears from it. So guess what? They gonna be destroyed, man, right? So end it off, right? Go right here, Jeremiah 51, right? And I'm gonna start at verse 5, right? And it says, I'm gonna start at verse 5, right? It says, for Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power. The Lord Yahweh of hosts through their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, right? Flee out of the midst of Babylon, which is America, right? He says, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. Don't follow after her ways, man. Get out of there. Revelation 18:4. Come out of her, my people, right? He said, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. This time for the Lord's vengeance, man. The indignation and righteous anger. He ready to Ezekiel 35 because they had a perpetual blood against Israel, man. Right through paraphrasing, right? So therefore, what, man? He coming with vengeance, right? He will render unto her a recompense, right? He says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, right? Because he made them that golden cup, right? He put them in that position. That made all of the earth drunken, right? Everybody drunk out the fornication of Babylon, right? What's the precept? What's the precept we read? Start out having a brain fart. What the precept we read? Start out basically said that, man. Right? All the nations are drunk off of fornication, man. Oh, she the head. Oh, she the head of the house of the wicked, man. All the nations are drunk off America, man. As I was saying earlier, right? America get the flu, America get the cold, everybody else get the flu, right? He says, nations have been drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. And balm is like something like you use to heal, right? He says, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed, right? If so, she may be healed. Take balm for her pain, she can be healed, right? But what do they say? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. She was not healed. Forsake her. Let us go, everyone, to his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven. It is lifted up even to the sky. That's what the notes say, man. That's why the Most High said Israelites not to take part in this place, because nothing going to save it, man. Right? Babylon is going to be destroyed. Ain't no healing America, man. She is not healed. Right? So that wound, that wound that was healed before, it ain't getting healed again. America ain't getting healed. America ain't being brought. Esau ain't coming back into power. Esau finna be done away with. Right? Esau finna be done away with. Right? Daniel 2:44. Right? So be a kingdom being brought up that should consume and can swallow all these kingdoms. And that kingdom shall last forever and not be left to no other people, brother, paraphrasing. That's the kingdom of Yahweh, right? So therefore, this kingdom right here done away with. Smoke shall go on forever. Ain't no healing in America, man. America ain't coming back into power. It's over with. Right? So therefore, you better depart or you're going to be caught up in it, man. Depart or you're going to be brought in, you're going to be caught up in that righteous indignation, man. Right? So, Lord willing, bless was edifying. Right now, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the whole flesh star with the 144,000. Shalom.